So, we meet again. Hey everybody, how you doing? Dan here. We will be starting in 5 minutes, the usual time, 2 p.m. East Coast time. Thanks for all of you coming, like Ava and Chase and Ian and Erica, Maddie, Julie, and Abby and Kimber, the Phillips kids in Alabama. Hi. Braden and Wesley and Noah from California. Glad you came here today. Solomon and Zachary and the Champ kids and Billy, Bob, Theo, Zoe's here. Aaron, Reese and Max and Jude the Dude. Evan and Luke and Darcy and Oscar and Hattie and Jake and Marissa, Philip, Max. Hi to all of you, Kyler and Emerson, Niles, Liam, Lexi, Jensen, Kinsey, Hunter, Page. Hi to all of you. Thanks for coming in. Noah and Logan, the Maslowski kids, Billy, Bob, CJ, Ryan, Emery, Lauren, Michael, and Christina. We'll get started in 4 minutes. Peter and Ben and April, the Glass Gang, Daniel from Morristown, Naomi, Elliot, Josh, Reed, Olivia Ashton, Liz, hi, Nico and Shmaya, Susie, Dylan's here, and Taryn, Bryn, Devlin, Teddy, Dylan, another Dylan, Matt, Nate, hi, Braden and Michaela, Sheila, the Tuttles, Bryce in Michigan's, Angie, I think I got that right, in Canada, J.D. Hudson Cooper. So glad you all came. I love it seeing your names scroll across the screen. Oliver and Allison, Gianluca and Mateo, Kendrick kids, Noah and Honolulu, Jack and John, Bryn, Avery, Ethan, Jack, Vincent and Metuchen, Becca, Simon, Stella, Josiah in Pittsburgh, Evan and Alexis, Angie, I hope I pronounced that right, Logan and his family, Matthew, the Rosenblatt kids. We'll get started in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Hope you're all having a good day today. Micah and Jonah and Carol, Lucy, Billy. The Sheeler family are here. Glad to see you all. By the way, if any of you have any audio problems hearing me, or if you have any technical problems, usually when you watch the read aloud afterward, I watch it and there's no problems at all. So it's something to do with the process. I don't know what it is. So you could do that. And we have 2 minutes left to go. If you know anybody who might be interested in this, call them up on the phone, shout out, hey, get on Facebook Live right now. They could come to my Facebook page and enjoy the read aloud with us. So thanks for eating lunch with me. There's Zoe and Tommy and Claire and Michael and Wyatt from Illinois, Matthew, Miles, and Paige is here. Got about a little over 300 of us right now sitting in this room together, 300 of us. We'll get started in 1 minute at 2 o'clock East Coast time. I guess I don't need that anymore. I'll take a quick sip before we click over to 2 o'clock. Here's some noises in the other room. Emma, can you close your door? Okay, you guys ready? I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. It's go time, baby. Hi, Dan Gutman here. I am the author of the My Weird School series and lots of other books for kids too. Let's start right off the bat with our question of the day, which comes from Clark in Iowa. And Clark asked, why are there 21 books in my weird school, 12 in my weird school days, 12 in my weirder school, and 12 in my weirdest school? And the answer is, when I started this thing, I didn't even know it was going to be a series. But I wrote the first one, and the publisher liked it, and they asked me to do more, and I did more and more and more. And when we got to number 21, they said, we would like to stop and start a new series called My Weird School Days. And they did 12 books in that series and 12 books in the next series. And I think they could sell more books that way is the reason why they did it that way. I would have just numbered them 1 through 60 or whatever. But the thing is, when there's 12 books, it kind of lends itself to a box set. So that's why I think that's probably the reason why they did it that way, so they could sell boxed sets of the books. And you can buy box sets. Okay, so that's the answer to the question. I had nothing to do with it. All right, let's get started with our read aloud of the day, which is Mrs. Master is a Disaster. We started this on Monday, and we learned that it was Grandparents' Day at elementary school, and Alexia's grandma, Mrs. Master, she is an inventor, and she created her own company. So the kids have decided she is a bazillionaire, and they want to invent something too, so they can become bazillionaires. So after long thinking about it, they decided they want to invent a toilet seat that glows in the dark, and it's heated, and it talks, and it's scented too, okay? And after thinking it over, they decide they're going to call it the Party Pooper. That's the name for the toilet seat, and they're all excited that they got that name. And the next thing to do is to build a prototype, which is a model of the seat. So that's where we are at right now, chapter 5 in the book, which is titled, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. You guys ready? Gather around your big screen TV, your laptop, your tablet, your smartphone, whatever it is. Let's get started. Here we go. The next morning, the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. Mr. Cooper came running into the classroom. Well, that's not the weird part. Mr. Cooper comes running into the classroom every morning. The weird part was that he came running into the classroom with a toilet seat over his head. You don't see that every day. Mr. Cooper thinks he's a superhero, but he's not a very good one because he tripped over somebody's backpack and almost slammed his head into his own desk. Here's Jim's picture of Mr. Cooper coming into the classroom with a toilet seat and falling down, as he always does when he comes into the classroom. Okay. No worries, he said, jumping off the floor. I'm okay. At that moment, Mrs. Master rolled into the class on her hoverboard lawnmower. I see you finished the Party Pooper prototype, she said to Mr. Cooper. Yup, he replied. Isn't it a beauty? I made it with my own hands. Big deal. It would be a lot harder to make a toilet seat with somebody else's hands. We all gathered around to see the Party Pooper prototype. It was beautiful. I think it's safe to say it was the most beautiful toilet seat I had ever seen. And believe me, I've seen a lot of toilet seats in my time. At that moment, Mr. Klutz came into the class. He was followed by a whole bunch of teachers. Our librarian, Mrs. Rupee, the computer teacher, Mrs. Yonkers, the art teacher, Ms. Hannah, and the school counselor, Dr. Brad. We'll read these another time. Our class was swarming with teachers. We heard about your new toilet seat, Mr. Klutz said excitedly. We wanted to see it. It looks like a plain old toilet seat to me, said Mrs. Rupee. Ah, but it's different, said Mrs. Masters as she unrolled a cord attached to the toilet seat and plugged it into the electrical outlet. Here, touch it. Mrs. Rupee put her hand on the toilet seat. Ooh, it's warm and toasty, she said. Hey, I shouted, maybe people could use it to make toast. Nobody's going to make toast on a toilet seat, dumbhead, said Andrea. Oh, snap, said Ryan. I was going to say something mean to Andrea, but I didn't have the chance. Check this out, said Mr. Cooper. Turn off the lights in the room, please. Somebody flipped the switch. Everything went black, except for the toilet seat, which gave off a soft blue light. It glows in the dark, said Mrs. Master, so you can find it at night without turning the lights on. Cool, all the teachers yelled. And here's Jim's picture of all the teachers admiring the glow-in-the-dark toilet seat. And it smells nice too, added Mr. Cooper. The heating element inside the toilet seat activates a floral scent. It will make people feel like they're pooping in a fragrant forest. Who wants to poop in the forest? I'd rather poop in a bathroom. I bet even bears would rather poop in a bathroom than in the forest. That is, if bears even knew that we have bathrooms, which they probably don't. It would be weird if bears knew that we had bathrooms. It's amazing, said Ms. Hannah. You ain't seen nothing yet, said Mr. Cooper as he waved his hand in front of the toilet seat. Listen to this. My name is Party Pooper, the toilet seat said in a computery voice. I'm your friend. Your toilet seat talks? Asked Dr. Brad. It does more than just talk, said Mr. Cooper. I worked with our computer teacher, Mrs. Yonkers, on this part. We put a motion detector and a computer chip in Party Pooper. When it senses there's a person nearby, it will have a little conversation with you to keep you company while you're in the bathroom. Go ahead, try it. Hello, Party Pooper, said Mr. Klutz. Nice weather we're having, isn't it? Lovely, said the toilet seat. Why don't you sit down? How is your day going? It's a hard day, Mr. Klutz told the toilet seat. Tell me about your hard day, said Party Pooper. Oh, I had another fight with Dr. Carbles, the president of the Board of Education, Mr. Klutz replied. He doesn't like me very much. And how does that make you feel? Asked Party Pooper. Terrible, said Mr. Klutz. I am sorry you had a fight, said Party Pooper. Perhaps things will turn out better tomorrow. See, said Mrs. Master. The toilet seat uses artificial intelligence, so it sounds like a real counselor. I feel better already, said Mr. Klutz. Dr. Brad, our school counselor, didn't look very happy. Wait a minute, he said. So this thing can help you with your personal problems while you're in the bathroom? That's right, said Mrs. Masters. Dr. Brad sighed and made his way toward the door. I guess you won't be needing me anymore, he said. I figured I might lose my job someday, but I never thought I would be replaced by a toilet seat. All right, that's chapter 5. It's time for us to start chapter 6, which is titled, My Genius Idea. You guys ready? Here we go. We all felt bad for Dr. Brad. It would be a bummer to lose your job to a toilet seat. But the other teachers were really excited about Party Pooper. I want to buy one, said Mrs. Rupee. Me too, said Ms. Hannah. Me three, said Mrs. Yonkers. Well, we don't have any Party Poopers to sell yet, said Mrs. Master. Before we can sell it, we need to raise some money. Why? Asked Mr. Cooper. People are going to give us money when they buy the toilet seat, right? Yes, said Mrs. Master, but we have to get a factory to build more party poopers so we have something to sell. That costs money. You have to spend money to make money, and it costs a lot to create a new product. Toilet seats don't grow on trees, you know. That would be cool if toilet seats did grow on trees. Of course, if toilet seats grew on trees, there would be no reason to start a company to sell them. You could just pick them off the trees, like fruit. And here's Jim's picture of what it would be like if toilet seats actually grew on trees. All right. Mrs. Master said we needed to make 1,000 toilet seats to start. Then, if sales were good, we would tell the factory to make another 1,000. 1,000 toilet seats? That would cost a lot of money. We all went through our pockets to see how much money we had. Ryan had $1. Emily had 2 quarters. I had 35 cents and some gummy bears. We didn't have nearly enough money to build 1,000 toilet seats. That's when I got another genius idea. Hey, I said, in NASCAR, they have stickers with company logos all over the cars. Like, Burger King will pay money so they can put their logo on the car. What if we did that with Party Pooper? Burger King isn't going to put their logo on a toilet seat, dumbhead, Andrea told me. That's it. I was sick of Andrea saying mean things to me. Your face looks like a toilet seat, I shouted at her. Oh, snap, said Ryan. Here's what we need to do, said Mrs. Master. We need to get investors, grown-ups, who will pay money to buy shares in our company. Then, if the company makes money, the investors will get some of the profits. Party Pooper can't miss, Mr. Cooper said as he reached into his pocket. I want to invest my life savings in the company. I'll chip in $1,000. Wow, we all said, which is Mom upside down. 1,000 is one less than 1,000,000. Mr. Cooper wrote out a check and gave it to Mrs. Master. I'll invest $1,000 too, said Mrs. Rupee. I want to buy a piece of the company. Me too, said Ms. Hannah. Me 3, said Mrs. Yonkers. Me 4, said Mr. Klutz. All the teachers started writing checks and taking money out of their wallets to give to Mrs. Master. They were practically throwing checks and bills at her. I had never seen so much money in my life. And here's a picture of all the teachers handing money to Mrs. Masters to invest in the company. This is fantastic, Mrs. Masters said as she counted the money. I'll contact some factories this afternoon. Then they can start making party poopers right away. Of course, the children will still own most of the shares in the company, said Mrs. Master. After all, Party Pooper was their idea. Yay, we all shouted. Everybody was excited about our new company. All the teachers were shaking hands and hugging each other. Mrs. Yonkers said she would set up a website so people could order Party Pooper over the internet. Ms. Hannah said she would make some artwork to use in newspapers and magazines and online. This thing was really happening. We were going to make bazillions. And the whole thing was my idea. That's chapter 6, you guys. We're going to start chapter 7 tomorrow. It's titled A Nice Round Number. But before we do Joke of the Day, I have some homework for you. That's right. There's homework with this assignment. And here's your homework, okay? This week I want you to put on your thinking caps, and I want you to think of a cool invention of your own. I'm not going to tell you why. I'll tell you on Saturday why I want you to invent something, okay? So think of a cool invention on your own, and I'll tell you more about it on Saturday. And for now, here's the joke of the day. Keeping with our toilet theme, here's the joke. Hey, did you hear that somebody broke into the police station and stole all the toilets? You hear about that? Yeah, they haven't solved it. The cops have nothing to go on. Okay, that's pretty funny. Anyway, let's get off the couch, okay? Stop staring at screens. Thanks to Josh Salzman and Ryan Cunningham for our theme song. You know it, you love it, you know what to do. Let's go.
My weird school, I'm AJ and my school's a mess. My weird school, before a school is fine, I guess. My weird school, where odd is cool, and the teachers are strange as a rule. Where Mrs. Yonkers is bonkers, and Mrs. Daisy is crazy, Mrs. Cooney is loony, and this lady is zany. And then there's her principal, his name's Mr. Klutz, and man, oh man, is that man nuts. My weird school, a million hundred hours long. My weird school, where normal things do not belong. My weird school, where odd is cool, and the teachers are strange as a rule. And my weird school, my weird school, oh yeah, it's my weird school.
Okay, you guys. Same time tomorrow. Same place tomorrow. Read like crazy. Wash your hands like crazy. And I'll see you then. Bye.